Let's see. All right, let's actually jump into this year's predictions. Let me hop over to my own message. So I broke mine up into different categories. I think you know what, I meant to add more to gaming in general, but I seem to have forgot. What else? I thought I did add more. Did it not go through? Let me check my phone. So as per normal, I have like 10 plus because I just like
I
firing stuff.
I I wrote down like five, but these were the ones, like a couple of them were just in my head as like these were the ones that popped in my head almost immediately, and I was like, I gotta write these down so I don't forget these. Uh, I'll kick you off with one to
Yeah,
start
because
with.
I remember the ones that I put in here. So let me type it out real quick.
Uh, it's like this is. I mean, this one it kind of steals from something you've been predicting for the past like 2 years now, and goes into one of your predictions. The new version of the Nintendo Switch is going to be available for holiday season this year.
Okay.
It'll probably be announced probably second quarter. It's like into second quarter or into third quarter for a holiday release. Don't and then I mean, if to throw something on top of that, new 3D Mario game is a release bundle.
Ooh, as a release. Okay, so you and I are mostly on the same page.
Because you think back to Switch, I mean, that's basically what they did with Odyssey.
Yeah, yeah, it came out in
It
the
came
release year.
it came out pretty close to it because
Yeah,
pretty much everybody with their Switch was excited for Odyssey.
right.
But yeah, I would say holiday Switch release with a Mario bundle, new 3D Mario game.
So that was one of mine as well.
I had a feeling, that's why I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start with this one and throw it out there because me and Alex are gonna be on the same page here.
Yeah, so my prediction with my Nintendo predictions, I did put new Nintendo console will launch in the fall. I specified that Prime 4 will be a launch title.
Legitimately,
so
I thought that initially, and I went, I'm gonna go Mario.
Yeah, so for my Mario prediction, this is where you and I are a little off. I think this year we will see the first look at the new Mario 3D game, but I think it's going to come out in 2025.
It's probably more likely, but
That was mine.
it's probably more likely. But when I started to think about it, I was like, if I'm betting on the new Prime or a new Mario game coming out at the end of this year, I'm betting on Mario.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. The reason I'm going with Prime 4 as a launch title is because I have seen reports that the game is done, and the only thing that they're working on now is all the cutscenes.
Yeah.
So that's what I've seen. So I mean, the game is finally done. They're just working on all the cutscenes throughout the game, and the game will be ready. So that's why I think it would be a launch title. I don't think it should be like the headline launch title. I think it'll generate a lot of hype, sure, but I mean, I feel like you do need something else there alongside of it, like a Mario. So it wouldn't shock me if a 3D Mario did come out alongside of it, but I'm more banking on 2025 for 3D Mario. That's just a feeling. Maybe a Mario collection of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. Like a remade Mario, like remade Mario games or re-released Mario games or something like that.
Keep it on the Nintendo train because I've got multiple. I do have a little specified note that if a Switch 2 does not come out, because I've kind of toyed with that idea on the show before, we will see a Switch Mini or a Switch Lite OLED. We're gonna see something fucking stupid come out that no one wants to buy. I'm just calling it now. That is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see something really stupid that no one wants.
Yeah.
So up next for me is I'm going to continue to hammer what I hammered last year, and GameCube will not come to NSO this year. I think it's still going to get pushed back. I think it's going to be a 2025 thing with the new console.
It would make sense with how slow they're rolling out their like Nintendo Switch Online like bonuses and everything.
Now here's one that I think you might be on board with. I've seen some talk on this. I've seen some report. I've seen some connecting of the dots with Aonuma and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and absolutely murder the hopes and dreams for a Twilight Princess Wind Waker HD bundle or either one of them coming to the Switch. They will not come out this year, but instead we will get an Ocarina of Time remake, and not the 3DS port. We will get an actual remake of the game.
You're over there like now. Okay, here's a question: are we saying like full remake?
Full remake,
like full remake in like similar art style or that, or are we looking at like a Link's Awakening art style?
Full remake.
Okay.
So like it would be.
I would be more on board with that.
It would stay in the realm of the art style direction they're going for Ocarina of Time, but think of the graphical jump from like Mario RPG 7 Stars to Mario RPG. It's in the same graphical jump, but it's going to look like Ocarina of Time. It's not going to over here and look like.
You've been over there beating that Twilight Princess.
I know
for like years.
I know
betting on it.
I'm done. I'm done.
You finally gave up.
I'm done. It's not happening. But an Ocarina of Time remake will. That is my prediction for this year.
Okay.
I've seen some reports on it. I've seen some connecting of the dots. I saw an interview recently where, like, I think Aonuma, he was asked about the idea of remakes and specifically like an Ocarina of Time. His only comment was, quote, "No comment." So I'm just connecting the dots, man. I've seen some reports. I've heard some rumors. Ocarina of Time remake this year. Launch title, Switch 2.
Okay. I've got one more Nintendo.
Okay.
And this is my obligatory Pokemon prediction.
Oh, I've got one too. I'm excited for this. That's my last Nintendo one too.
I can I've got it caveated as one of two things. I can break it into just one of them if you want.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I put down, or the way I phrased it was, new Pokemon secondary game to be released this year.
Okay.
And by secondary game, I mean
remakes or something,
like a remake, an Arceus, a Let's Go, one of those. But if I'm gonna boil it down between one of those, it's not gonna be a remake because the next one in line would be Gen 5. They don't need to fucking touch that, or they need to let Game Freak handle that. It's like let your big boys take that one on. Don't hand that one off. We've had enough. We've had enough problems with like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Yeah,
we don't want that again.
That's fair.
So if I'm gonna like break it down to which one it should be out of those three, give us a different region in the style of Arceus. Is what I'm gonna say.
Now, is that your prediction or your hope?
That's gonna be my prediction.
Okay.
Arceus has been one of the most well received Pokemon games in a long time.
True.
People love the change of it, and potentially showing us the older or like the history of a separate region that everybody loves would be another, like, whether it be like far back at the beginning of the region being established, or potentially in just the early days, like not necessarily establishing it, but it's been around for a little bit, but it's not quite the same routes and everything we remember. Something like that. Same type of game, big open zones, wandering around, collect your resources and everything.
Now, if you had to pick, which one would you pick? Johto, Unova, or Kalos? I feel like it'd be one of those three for various reasons.
Okay, here's the thing. You would expect me to say Johto.
I know you. Yeah.
That's what you expect me to say.
Legend Celebi.
Well, here's the thing, and as much as I would love that, looking at, because here's the problem with it is I would love to see I'd love to see Kalos would be my answer.
Yeah,
because I love the vibe.
Yeah,
of
and it's
that
a shame.
region.
It's a shame that X and Y got shafted.
Yeah, I love that region. I don't know if they would go straight to Kalos. I would love them to. That would be my pick. Johto, as much as I love Gen 2, I know it is widely regarded as one of the worst received generations. People do not like it.
Yeah.
And while I absolutely adore it, I understand that people don't.
Right.
So yeah, I would say an Arceus style game, hopefully in the Kalos region.
Though I've seen a lot of people talk about the idea of the Unova one, especially with how
I know
heavy
that's
Unova was so heavily focused in that second DLC. It was Blueberry Academy Elite Four are from Unova.
It's also like that's the expected answer.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily want to go with just
now. Hey,
if
the question is, if they did like a Legends game of Unova, would they do Kyurem because he's like considered the original dragon, or would they do something like Genesect? It's like Legends Genesect or like Legends. Which one would it be? Because I mean, obviously Kyurem is the third of the trio. We went with the God Pokemon of the previous, which that's what you need to do.
I would prefer Kyurem I would.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more.
He's the original
Well,
dragon
I
in
would.
Pokemon lore.
I would
to my
prefer
understanding.
that. I have a feeling they would go Genesect.
Yeah, Genesect, or what were some of the other like miscellaneous legendaries? Like not the trios. There was Genesect. There was the little music one, Meliota. I think there might have been one other legendary in that gen, but I don't remember what. So you had like the genies.
Yeah.
You had the 3 dragons. Oh, you had the Swords of Justice. A lot of groups in that game. So yeah, Genesect and Meliota. That'd be it.
But I think, I mean, Kyurem would be
Kyurem
the
would be
most
sick.
logical, and it would look the best on the cover.
It would. It would.
But yeah, that's it's like that. I would be perfectly fine with. But I'm expecting another Arceus style game because. I mean, if you ever see like the YouTube polls and shit where they ask about like the generations of games that came out in like the last 6-7 years, it's like it's always like up there with like 40% votes. People love that game.
It's a great playthrough. I just haven't had a personal desire to replay it, but it's a damn good playthrough.
Well, that's the thing.
Like
It's
you'll
like
have a fun 80 to 100 hours.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that's why it's like there's so much love for that.
Yeah.
They're going to go back to it.
Yeah. So my Pokemon prediction, and I'm curious your thoughts on this one because Nintendo and Pokemon are some of the hardest things to predict in gaming because they go by the beat of their own drum. They're always doing different shit. So I thought to do something a little different with my Pokemon prediction. The game that we're going to have come out this year, it will be in Unova, but it is not a black and white remake. It is not a black 1, white 2 remake, and it is not a Legends game. It will be essentially a black and white 3, and they will make Unova a trilogy. That's going to be my kind of random prediction, is that they're going to do a trilogy. We will once again see the Blueberry Academy kids in this game.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Here's the question. Like handheld style or
Scarlet Violet style.
Oh, give them time to cook on it at least.
Yeah, Scarlet Violet kind of style, but that's gonna be my prediction. Because I mean, like I said, all the Blueberry Academy kids, it's from Unova. Like one of them is like the son of the Electric Gym leader and Clay. Which shout out to Clay, man, getting with a model. Shout out to him. But that's gonna be my prediction. We will have basically a third version of these games, and it will be made a trilogy because these are still the only games that carry a continuous story from Black and White 1 to Black and White 2. So that's my current prediction. We will get a Black and White 3. And I think that'd be sick.
I mean,
that'd be so cool.
I would be okay with that. I mean, honestly, there's a reason why Black and White 2 are some of the highest regarded games.
Yes, because
they're so good.
It's great story. So that's what I'm calling for. I think that'd be so cool. Will we get it? Probably not. But it'd be really cool if we did. That was all my Nintendo ones. So let me hop over to Sony because, like I already kind of mentioned, my message did not update when I was updating. I know I had, I think, 4 Sony predictions, but I cannot remember what the other 2 were. I'm trying my damned hardest to remember it, but I just don't know. Oh, I remember one of them now. So I have 3 off the dome now. So one of them, this is going to be. Oh, I can't wait for the conversation if this is real. And I have no reason to believe this is real other than it's the gaming industry and there's a bunch of scumbags. So one prediction that I have is starting for the first time ever going into this generation, when we have the PS5 Pro come out, Pro version, like upgrades of games, Sony's going to charge people for it. So like, let's say you have
You're talking about like a Nintendo 3DS versus a new 3DS here.
Yeah. They will charge people for an upgrade for it. So like, all right, okay, listen. I understand that we're already charged from like, let's say you have the PS4 version or whatever, you got to pay $10 and you can get the PS5 version. I already know that's a thing. What I'm saying is it's a PS5 game with slight upgrades to the PS5 Pro to utilize the PS5 Pro. You're going to have to pay like $10 for that slight upgrade on that game. That is what I'm going to call.
So are you saying that you can't play the game? It's not like PS4 to PS5. If you have the PS5 Pro, will you be able to play your PS4, PS5 games on it? You
will, but whatever enhancements the PS5 Pro could give you to that game, you will not be able to access it unless you pay for it. If you're playing the PS4 or PS5 version, then they will have a PS5 Pro SKU as well. That's my prediction.
The only
It's stupid. It sounds
It-
wild,
it's
but
stupid. The only reason, okay, here's literally the one reason why I don't see that, and it's the storefront menu.
that's true.
The storefront menu, when you go to look at things,
Too many options.
Already, when you go to look at it, you have the PS4, the PS4 Digital Deluxe, the PS5, the PS5 Digital Deluxe, and then you have the combination of that.
Yep.
There's already too many options.
Oh, they're gonna keep at it, Bubba. I'm telling you.
It's like, and I feel like they don't want to get it any more cluttered up. So that's the only reason I wouldn't. That is my only reason. This
is my most random prediction on this list. I will go ahead and get that out of the way now. But it's just a sneaking suspicion that, like, we're writing off the PS5 Pro as why do we need it? It's a waste of money, which it kind of is. But I feel like I have this sneaking gut feeling that it's going to be a bigger jump than we realize. And I think it's going to be like a 3DS to new 3DS sort of situation where there might be games that will only come out for the PS5 Pro. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's just a sneaking suspicion.
It's funny that we keep saying it sounds stupid. It's a Nintendo move.
It would be.
It's a Nintendo move, but it's like usually they're the only ones that can get away with it.
And Zach's here.
Dumbass.
Hey, I already said it's the most random prediction on the list.
Why the fuck would you feel a company would release a console and purposely lock the console's features?
Well, it's
Greedy bastards, Zach. We're in a greedy industry.
It's Sony, not Blue Box.
Sony's greedy. What are you on about? They're trying to make like 15 game live service games.
Yeah, but nobody wants to make those, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. They got like 2 coming out this year, but
I mean, but we expect it from live service. We understand that
we are in a greedy industry, my
we
friend.
understand live service games are going to be microtransactions. If you lock a fucking console's features behind a goddamn paywall, you're more or less saying that console out to fucking die.
All these mid-gen consoles have gone out to die.
No,
What's the difference?
So I understand his perspective of it because he's saying essentially that you'll have. It's weird because what he's saying is the game will come out and any enhancements that the console would do, you would have to pay for. But also the fact that games would only come out for that console, rendering your sales to be fucking worthless. Because it's going to be, you'd have to split it between, at that point, like 3 consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not happening.
That's a dumbass prediction.
Hey, hence the title of our terrible predictions. We have a horrible track record every year we've done this.
Okay. I got one here for you. Okay. No AAA or major publishing players in the industry will make or will essentially have a flop this year to this, meaning no Redfalls, no Cyberpunks, no Forspokens.
Oh, wow.
That's a bold prediction.
That's more bold than mine.
This year in gaming, games are going to come out
And be fine.
and work.
Man.
They're going
that
to
is
come out
bold.
and work, and at worst, they're just not going to have a good Metacritic score. It's not going to be. It's not going to be like stories coming about all the bugs, the unfinished content, everything like that that's missing from the games. The games are going to come out and be finished.
So you're saying specifically AAA?
Well, like AAA or like some major publishers as well. Just not necessarily just AAA, because a lot of the big games that flop aren't necessarily the big AAA publishers.
Well, I'm going to throw out one of my predictions, which is maybe a slight counterpoint to yours, in that Ubisoft, Skull and Bones, is going to have a lawsuit filed against it, specifically involving Skull and Bones.
Wait, does Skull and Bones count? Because we know that's going to be shit.
But you said a notable
So,
publisher.
actually, you know what? Funny
Developer.
enough. Hold on.
Okay. Here,
I have to tell
does
you
that
guys
still
something.
count Ubisoft at this point?
Yes.
How?
Because
They have not made a decent game in years.
they have not, but they
that's
have
true.
IPs that are iconic and recognizable that people are going to go to regardless.
Yeah, but we all know we're going to them, but they're going to be shit.
That's
Exactly,
also
but
true.
we still buy it.
Yeah, but you buy it not expecting it to be a great game.
Hey, I can't. I don't know what to tell you about.
Listen, funny enough, right? when it comes to Skull and Bones. So, like, again, I already said earlier, go follow us on TikTok. I've got like the Q1 game release schedule, and someone commented about Skull and Bones because I made a joke in the schedule where I gave the date. I'm like, well, we'll see. And someone commented that like their friends have like actually played the beta and says that it's not as bad as you think. It's still like not a good game, not worth $70, maybe worth 40 at best, but it's not as bad as you would think. But he's like, it probably just depends on someone's taste. But my friends seem to enjoy it. And I'm just like, your friends have some weird taste, man, because that game does not look fun.
Well,
but apparently it might be okay.
I will say,
I could die or agree with it, but I didn't use my open beta access because I went no.
I was going to say, to be fair to that point, the last time we saw anything on the game, it looked terrible, but that's been like a year.
Yeah.
They could have.
And that was before their last pushback.
Yeah. So it's like they've had time to go in and
polish.
And polish and make it look more fun.
Yeah, and let it cook a little bit.
But yeah, one of my predictions is that Ubisoft is going to have a lawsuit filed against them involving Skull and Bones.
I'm sticking with it even with Skull and Bones coming out. Whether Ubisoft is still or considered to be one of those big companies anymore is up for debate.
Well,
that's fair.
To also kind of throw a little wrench in your prediction, because I would consider this AAA. I think Suicide Squad's going to flop. Like, I have a feeling it's going to bomb.
That was one of mine as well. I feel like I don't think it's going to bomb. I don't think it's going to bomb. I don't think it's going to be as good as we're hoping.
Let me stress, I don't want that to be the case.
Nobody besides us is expecting it to be fun.
That's fair. That's fair.
Everybody else is like, when they released the stuff on it, said it looked like a boring basic game.
That's fair. Then again, I don't really take the time to read the community, follow that community. So I mean, my main thing is Rocksteady. Rocksteady's always gone good with combat systems.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like it may not be the best game to come out in the year. It's gonna be a 7 out of 10 game. Let's be real.
Let's be honest. It might be a 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 7. It's gonna be a 7 out of 10 at best. But I mean, still.
So I guess that prediction solely for us. I don't think Suicide Squad is going to be as good as we're hoping it's going to be.
Oh, yeah. It might be shit, but I'm gonna play it.
Let's see. One that I have on a more positive note is that I am predicting that the Plucky Squire, when it comes out, it will be considered an instant classic. That is going to be my prediction for that game. That game looks like a lot of fun, and I can't wait. I'm calling instant classic. That's going to be my prediction for it.
Over here is calling instant classics. I'm going to call it Game of the Year. Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, yeah.
Black Myth Wukong is set up to be Game of the Year, especially this year, because as of right now,
we got nothing.
What's it competing against?
Final Fantasy.
It's competing against Final Fantasy.
Wait, what Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, it's the part 2. It's going to be competing against that, which we know, regardless of what happens, that's going to be in contention for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
and
Black Myth.
Technically, it'll be going up against the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah, that's apparently coming out this year too.
It's like
Metal Gear Solid Delta.
But yeah,
whatever
it's
that
like
is.
Black Myth Wukong. We've been excited for this because we've been the group of people digging into it every year.
Yep, ever since the release in 2020.
But then with the trailer that they showed off, and like with their release date and everything on it, I mean that alone made it look like, with nothing else, just off that trailer, it's Game of the Year contender.
Yeah.
But especially with the hype after Elden Ring came out, fucking everybody's going to play this game.
Oh, yeah. No, that was one of my predictions, because I predicted it last year when it was still slated for 2024 that it will come out, get like 90 plus or whatever it was, 88 plus on Metacritic. I think the same thing. Black Myth Wukong is going to come out this year. It's going to be universally acclaimed. I'm giving it 90 plus on Metacritic. I mean, I think it's going to be, people are going to love. I think this game's going to be amazing. It will be one of the nominees this year.
I mean, looking at it, it's like, I'm calling Game of the Year right now. It's going to be probably between Final Fantasy and Black Myth Wukong, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And that's just going to be on the vote split there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, nothing against the game.
Right.
I do not hope. I hope it doesn't go to Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Another one that I have for like gaming in general is involving Pal World. So my prediction on Pal World is that it will firmly put its foot in the door for the monster catching genre. I don't think it's going to compete with Pokemon at all. I just don't think it's going to disappear like Tim. That's my only prediction. I think it will be a game that people will play it, they will enjoy it, they may move on, but they will still enjoy it. It's not going to be like Tim where people may play it for a little bit and be like, okay, I'm just going to leave now. I think Pal World will firmly put its foot in the door and stay relevant to some capacity because no one talks about Tim anymore. No one. Me saying the words Tim right now is probably the first time you've heard the words Tim in some time. But Pal
If
World,
at all.
yeah, Pal World is one that I think will actually put its foot in the door and just be a relevant game to some capacity. It's not going to be blowing things out of the water. People aren't going to talk about it every week or some shit. But it's not going to disappear like Tim.
This is where I believe you're wrong. I believe Pal World's going to be the Monster Cacher version of No Man's Sky.
Oh no,
It will come out.
be horrible and then get good.
Yes, but it will be live on in legacy.
Yeah.
I think, like, just speaking on Power World in general, I think Power World is going to come out and be a decent enough game, but it is going to fucking take over the internet
Don't worry.
for at least a month.
Because, I mean, we're supposed to get a release date, but I don't think it's going to be full release. I would not be surprised if it's like early access.
Yeah, the early access release stuff. I
Well,
agree.
that's how Temtem released. It released
Yeah.
it released in like early access, and then I guess they kept adding stuff to it, and then it was just like, I mean, it was like 2 years later that it got its full release.
But I'm in agreement. I feel like when Power World actually does come out and people get their hands on it, it's going to blow up the internet in memes.
Because
for
because
sure.
so far everyone has the same opinion of us, where they look at it, they go, "What the fuck is happening here?"
Exactly. No, they just actually released their 51st PAL decks, and it's fuck, I forgot it. It was like a bee queen, and she's a raid boss that you can capture.
That game is going to be something.
It's going to be weird, and I'm all for it. I found Power World. I've stuck with Power World. I'm going to play Power World.
No, Pal World is one that I'm excited for because we're getting like the release date, like this upcoming week, I think.
Yes,
So I'm looking forward to that.
they're supposed to announce it this week as of week of January 7th to 13th.
Another release that we're gonna release date that we're gonna be getting this week, this upcoming Monday during the national championship of college football. We're gonna get a release date for EA college football, and my prediction for the game, with its long-awaited return, is that it will not live up to NCAA 14 or college football revamp. I just have a feeling it's just going to be another.
I thought you were
EA
gonna
game.
say when you expected it to come out.
No, I mean it'll come out probably June or July. I mean I'm not worried about a release date. If it's still slated for this year, it's going to come out in the summer. But I just have a feeling that it's just going to be a good game, a good football game, but it will not live up. I feel like people will play it for a while for sure. I mean, or probably all year. But there's still going to be a lot of players that will just immediately go back to college football revamp or even NCAA 14. I just don't think it's going to live up to it. I hope it does. I love NCAA games, but still staying in like the sports-esque game genre, I'm throwing out there the WWE 2K24 will be one of the best wrestling games to ever come out. I'm just throwing it out there. 2K23 was
If it doesn't have an updated GM mode, it's trash.
I mean, that's true. It's got to update the GM mode. It's got to expand on the GM mode quite a bit. But I'm calling it now. It's going to be a great roster. I'm looking forward to the modes for a GM mode. So that's one thing I'm throwing out there.
I got one for you. Dragon Quest 12. We'll get an official release date. It's going to release by the end of the year. And we'll get the announcement of that on May 27th.
Why May 27th?
It's Dragon Quest Day.
Oh, I didn't realize they had a Dragon Quest Day.
Yeah, it's the same day that it's like the anniversary of Dragon Quest. It's the same day that they did the announcement that or like announcement trailer for it.
Gotcha.
Because they'll do a whole big festival for it. That's when they announced like Dragon Quest. What was it? Dragon Quest Treasures or something that came out, I think, recently.
I think it was Dungeons.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because you play as like a Dark Overlord.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a couple years now. I think the game is going to come out now, and we'll get the announcement with the release, like with the official release date and trailer and everything, will be May 27th.
Okay. My last two that I had for like gaming in general, it's around that time range for you, like around the summer, involving Summer Game Fest. I've got two things that I'm predicting that we will see there. One of them I feel like is very easy to predict, especially based on a lot of like just general reports, is that Dragon Age Dreadwolf will be at Summer Game Fest. Could I just be predicting a like confirmed report? Maybe. I don't remember if what I saw was like rumors or confirmed reports. If it's confirmed report, then obviously it's not a prediction. But Dragon Age Dreadwolf at Summer Game Fest, and then I'm gonna throw a little bit of a kind of a Hail Mary. I think it's probably time, and Zach could potentially agree with me. I'm not sure, but I think at Summer Game Fest, I think we will finally see a trailer, official reveal for Persona 6
Nope.
with a 2025 release. That's my current prediction.
Not at Games Fest.
Where would it be?
Game Awards.
Game Awards is typically the Persona where they
Game
where they do a
Awards
lot
makes
more,
sense too.
They do a lot more Persona showing.
Yeah,
there.
Game Awards makes sense.
It would
too.
either be Game Awards or with Atlas doing what they've done with the past year, they would do their own little thing for it.
I was gonna say I don't.
Even though that's the case, I'm still going to go ahead
because
and
right
hammer it.
now with how Atlas usually does their stuff, they're going to be focusing on P3 Reloaded, and then from there Metaphor.
That's what I was gonna say. Is P3 Reloaded and Metaphor? It seems like this would be the wrong year for them to announce Persona 6.
At least during the mid-year, towards the end of the year, going into next year, I could definitely see them do a
So, like,
teaser
Game
trailer.
Awards, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, just Persona 6 will get revealed or confirmed this year. That's my prediction. I think it's time.
One of mine that I would like to see is, I would feel like it's more likely to happen at Summer Games Fest, a new teaser trailer for Dokev.
Oh yeah, I thought about Dokev earlier.
Holy shit!
Unlock core memory for John.
I just saw the trailer in my mind.
Yeah, unlocked core memory for John.
Because they've gone quiet for an entire year.
Yeah.
So I feel at this point, if they have anything, we will see some sort of not like a full release trailer or anything, just a thing. Hey, we're alive.
Yeah. Hey, we're still working on stuff. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see.
And then another thing that I felt we might see this year, probably more Game Awards than Summer Games Fest. Shit, what was it? I can't remember now. Yeah, no, I can't remember what it was now. I didn't write it down. Oh, right. Just to appease the people, a new Fire Emblem in the Three Houses style.
Yeah, okay, so a new Fire Emblem, but it's gonna be like Three Houses. So
Yeah.
You're not calling for another Warriors game or anything.
No.
Okay. Speaking of Warriors, you gonna call for any new Dynasty Warriors? I saw someone predict that earlier. Dynasty Warriors 10 will come out or announced this year. One of the two.
It's been long enough we could see it, but I never know with Koei Tecmo because they usually stay under the radar with their shit.
That's fair.
Because I'm more likely to see a new Romance of the Three Kingdoms versus the Warriors this year.
I didn't have a solid prediction for two of these because this is just two games that have been in my head. I don't know why one of them has been in my head. I'm gonna straight up say it. I don't know why, but two games have been in my head that I keep thinking this year we're gonna see something on. And at least one of them will make sense for Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Fable. And then I don't know why. Mass Effect.
I would love that. But
It's been stuck in my head. I don't know why. Those two games have been just like sitting there going, like Fable's been ticking around Summer Games Fest. Mass Effect. I don't know why it's been there. I don't know why it's stuck in my head of like this year something is going to be shown.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just go ahead and say we'll get a trailer for both of them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you'll at least get a Mass Effect trailer on N7 Day. I mean, you'll get that.
Yeah,
and how big or notable it will be, that's
Because
the
didn't
question.
this year they just do a new character model walking around?
Yeah, new character model walking reveal. That's all it was. And then a poster that went with it.
Yeah, I don't know why Mass Effect was there. It's just I guess something's telling me you're gonna see something big for Mass Effect this year.
I'd love to see something with Dragon Age looming. I don't know if this is the year, but I'd love to see it.
I mean, true, but it's one of those where it's like Fable I'm more confident in.
Yeah.
I'm both more confident and it's probably least likely.
Yeah, right. Talking about Xbox stuff, you're saying that we'll see Fable this year. Well, I'm gonna give you 4 games we won't see this year. Perfect Dark, Everwild, Indiana Jones, and Contraband. We will not see anything about them this
Really?
year.
Not Avowed?
I think we'll see Avowed this year. I think we'll see Avowed. I think we'll see Fable. We'll, of course, definitely see Hellblade 2 release this year. I mean, God, we've seen so much of that at this point. But yeah, I think Avowed we will see. Fable we will see. But Everwild and Perfect Dark are the big ones for me. We will not see those this
Probably
year.
not.
Indiana Jones, I almost didn't put that on there because it's like, I have a sneaking suspicion we might see something from that. Contraband, I also don't think we'll see anything on that this year. I think that one's going dark.
I'm pretty sure that one's gone dark and maybe in jeopardy of not being a thing anymore.
We don't even know anything about it. All we saw was a briefcase.
Yeah.
But
And that it's a co-op game.
Yeah, those 4 games I'm calling will not appear at all this year for Xbox.
Oh, by the way, random thing. Because I was thinking about this because remember Game Awards? They had they have the adaptation, and we were all surprised by Gran Turismo because we all forgot about it.
Yep.
I watched that.
Is it good?
It's actually a pretty good movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
bet.
that's good.
I heard it was good.
It's actually good. I really enjoyed it.
Where'd you watch
It
it?
was good.
I think it was on Netflix.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I watched it all there. It's fucking great.
All right, cool. I heard it was good. Hey, this year though,
I could see Gran Turismo being good just because of what it is.
Well, it's also based on a true story.
Yeah,
apparently.
it's based on a true story. It's basically they took
It was
they
some
took
tournament.
they
thing.
took the best sim racers in the world, put them in a tournament to get the top people, and then took them to a driving academy,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
and then trained them to race real cars, and then put them and actually had them race. And the guy who the movie was based on was his own. He was the stunt double for the main actor.
That's funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, in terms of adaptations, we are getting Sonic 3 this year, and I'm really excited. It's coming out at Christmas though, so I gotta wait a while.
So, y'all already passed it before I got here, but I did have one Nintendo prediction I wanted to yeet out in the
Zach
universe.
with Nintendo.
Here we go. Here we go.
If we
Here
do
go.
get a Switch 2, we are going to get a release of a random ass title alongside it. A new
Okay.
F-Zero.
I could actually see that. I'm actually on board for that one. I can see that.
Yeet that into the universe.
I could actually totally see that. I mean, F-Zero 99 has done really well.
Yeah.
People really enjoy it, so I could see that. I think Switch 2 could be. So in terms of a Switch 2, if it does come out, this is way early. This would be better for a 2025 prediction as we really kind of get into it. First full year with the console. I think Switch 2 is going to be the console that you're going to see the return for some franchises. I think you will see an F-Zero, for example. I think Star Fox will once again make a return. I even think Golden Sun can make a return. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I think Switch 2 will be the console that's going to bring back a lot of old titles. So shout out to that one. I only have a couple more Xbox ones. So I threw out 4 that would not appear. 2 things that will appear. I'm gonna keep on hammering this. I hammer it almost every year. We're gonna see a Gears something this year. Gears Collection, Gears 6. We're gonna see Gears something this year. It's time. It's happening. This
You
is the
barely
year.
won that last year with the Gears Remastered.
We didn't get that last year though.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Was it last year or the year before?
I don't remember.
'Cause I own it.
Well, I'm calling for a Master Chief collection of Gears.
Alex, I was sitting here and as I was thinking about stuff, Gears popped in my head, and I was
It's time.
maybe something Gears will happen. I started thinking about it, and I went, they don't fucking care about Gears.
It'll happen. Then I think we will finally see Certain Affinity's Halo project. BR, whatever it is, I think we will finally see their Halo project this year. It's time. It's time to show it. Time to show the world. And then-
I also I considered that, and also I went, not gonna happen.
my final Xbox prediction is Xbox will have a game nominated for Game of the Year. I don't know what it'll be, but they will have a game nominated for Game of the Year. That might be one of the most spiciest ones I've said yet. Let's see. I only had two more. They were both Sony. One is that Wolverine will not appear at all of 2024. And the last one is Foam Stars will be a good game.
What even is Foam Stars?
It's basically Sony's like Splatoon.
Yeah.
Right.
Here you go, Alex.
All right, hit me.
Just thought of this.
All right.
So bear with me.
Bearing with you.
But this because you said Xbox will have something game
Game of the
nominated
year.
for Game
Yeah.
of the Year. Not due to the platform itself.
Hmm.
This will be the most underwhelming year for Game Pass.
Okay.
Not due to anything existing, just what comes to it will be underwhelming the entire year.
Ooh. I don't like that prediction.
It'll still get all of its first day games and
Yeah,
everything, but it may have one or two like decent hits, but it's not going to be like the past couple years where it's been like every month you get a couple bangers.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be this is going to be the most underwhelming Game Pass year. Which is unfortunate with
I don't like that one.
with how they've very hard transitioned and focus on Game Pass now.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one, buddy.
One of my last ones, just because I've been stemming through the mobile stuff. Hoyoverse will release Shadow Drop Zenless Zen Zero, and then they will have 3 Juggernauts on mobile gotchas.
God.
I will say
Running the industry.
I thought about you, and I was thinking about this, debating about saying this. Because I did a little digging into it. We will have a mobile game nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh, shit.
Well, mobile game.
I don't know.
He's just eating it out there.
We've had standard games. I think we've had a VR game make it in there before.
Yeah.
This is the year. Mobile games are getting much more relevant. They're getting higher quality. Much more people are becoming accepting of them. 2024 is the time.
This is the year.
This is the year. It's also it also helps that it's going to be at least for the time being. We don't really have juggernauts announced for the year. So this could be the
2023
year.
was pretty stacked, so 2024 is looking like sort of a mid-year so far.
Because this is one of those where it's like maybe your Zenless
Zone Zero.
Zone Zero. I knew it was Triple Z. I just don't remember what they are. It's like maybe that comes out, fucking takes off, and it's like and people actually end up liking it instead of thinking it looks kind of whatever. But maybe it's like maybe it takes off. Maybe it's like and maybe it makes it, or maybe the rest of the year is kind of underwhelming, and they go toss it in there.
So you just think a mobile game is going to make it into the Game of the Year category?
Yeah, a mobile game. It may not be announced yet, but a mobile game will come out and not only be nominated for like best mobile game of the year or whatever that category is called. It'll make it into Game of the Year.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be a hell of a thing, but okay.
That would be amazing.
Looking at what we have announced so far for as of now in the beginning of the year, it's a viable prediction.
Yeah.
That's part
like
of
I
why
said
I was
earlier,
thinking
it
about
feels like a light year.
I was
It
looking.
feels like everyone's getting ready for next
I
year.
was looking through what was announced for the year, and I'm sitting there. I'm looking. I'm going, man, a mobile game might take something this year. Because there's been some very high profile mobile games come out.
Yes.
So I don't know what it'd be. I'm just expecting something to come out this year that just blows up.
Your buddy Hershey says it's going to be Diablo Immortal 2 Game of the Year. That's his prediction. He's locking it in. No sarcasm at all. Definitely did not tell me sarcasm. Diablo Immortal 2. It's confirmed. It's happening.
Probably still be better than Diablo 4.
Oh, damn. That's rough. Let's see. That would be wild though. A mobile game making in
Mobile game's gonna make Game of the Year in the category, not win.
in the category. Yeah, just
Where
gonna be
got a
nominated.
winner? Where got the winner?
The winner is Black Myth Wukong.
I really hope that game's as good as you two are hoping.
Dude, it looks.
If it's not, I'm gonna cry.
Everything
you will
they-
see. I will cry on the show. I'll go ahead and throw it out there now.
This is gonna be one of those. It's like there will have to be some major bait and switching going on for that game to not be fantastic.
It's going to have to be another Days Gone.
Yeah, or the day before, whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's like it comes out and it's a completely different game than what's advertised.
They have shown us way too much gameplay on that game to not know what it is, or to not know like the general vibe of it and everything. Because what was it? Like 5 months ago or something when we got like the 30-minute gameplay trailer of them just wandering around the open world, followed by several or like one of the major boss fights. Game looks fantastic.
I can't wait, dude. Like I said though, if it's bad, I will cry on the show. I will come in, I will cry on the show if that's a bad game.
I expect you to come in and cry on that show when the difficulty level hits you.
I'm going to be training this year.
You say that.
I'm going to be training this year. That's my goal. I will be.
All right,
prepared.
slight tangent.
How many Soulsborns do you have downloaded?
What is your scaling tier of start here to climb to?
Okay, so I've done research on this. All right, so if I wanted to actually go with a little bit easier and work my way up, Lies of P is down there.
Yes.
I've also seen a lot of recommendations to just do the original Dark Souls.
Yes.
Bloodborne's been recommended. Honestly, just because it is a good game, even though it's difficult. I have seen recommendations. I just go into Elden Ring. Now, the one that I've seen just like avoid this one at all cost is Sekiro.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sekiro's mean.
Sekiro's the one that I've seen just ruin gamers, man. I had a buddy who got into gaming again for the first time in years, bought an Xbox One and everything around that time, and literally sold his Xbox One like within a year because of Sekiro. Just like broke him as a man. He's like, I'm done. I can't play games anymore.
If you're going to Sekiro, that's a commitment.
Yeah. So Lies of P, it being on Game Pass makes it pretty nice. So I'm gonna check that one out. I do plan to probably check out Elden Ring, and I was gonna look at Bloodborne. Those are the three that I'm starting with. Probably also gonna try to jump back into Wulong since it's also on Game Pass.
I do have Lies of P and Bloodborne both downloaded.
Yeah, I gotta get my hands on Bloodborne and Elden Ring, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Stalker 2 is going to be sick if it's not on your list. I realize I'm joining late. Stalker 2 is set to come out Q1. Just no release date yet because of obvious reasons. You know,
not my interest.
World events going on.
I mean, it looks interesting.
No,
but
I mean, when it comes out, it's going to be a damn good game. It's going to be reviewed.
I know people are very hyped for it.
Yeah, it's going to be reviewed very well. And I know people are very hyped for it for just Stalker 1, whatever, and just the everything that looked about Stalker 2 looked great. But I think also because it's like people are just ready for it and ready for the developers to finally get the game out with everything that's been going on, everything they've been dealing with. So it's gonna be nice for them to finally get the game out too. But with the Souls thing, I'm gonna train. All right, I'm gonna train. Just know that I do have it on my list.
You better record it.
I'm gonna be training.
I do plan on attempting to beat 2 of these games before Black Myth comes out.
Okay.
Better record it.
Yeah, got to record it. Also, he says, John is going to join me for multiplayer. Right, John?
For what?
I think Stalker 2.
What is I don't know what this... I know the name of the game. I don't know what type of game it is.
Well, apparently he's wanting to know if you're going to play it with him.
I didn't realize Hershey was this hard about Stalker 2.
What is the game? What is it? What does it play like?
He can hit you.
I don't. This is one of those where I know the name of it. I don't know how the game plays. But I mean, it's
PvE Tarkov is what he says.
If I've shown anything in the last year, I'm willing to play just about damn anything.
That's awesome. That's very true. I mean, you played 95% of Redfall.
Well, John, whenever you get back to it, let me know when you want to attempt Wolong again.
I just gotta. I probably just gotta update my Xbox and I'm good to go.
He says it's PvE Tarkov and slightly less hateful.
I mean, I'll give it a go.
There you go. He'll give it a go. So, yes, he's going to play multiplayer with you.
Tarkov was just... no.
Just no. Jeez. All right, so we got... do we have any other predictions we want to yeet out into the universe? He's clipped it. He's holding you to it.
I don't think unless something else comes to me, it's like that was kind of like all the ones that stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones where I thought about them and I was like, I need to write some of these down.